talented player on the roster.
He was the 10th pick out of Fresno State a year ago. Here's Turkoglu, foot on the line, drains it 2. It's a good sign. Turkoglu's been up and down the last few years after playing a big role. They can hit it from deep as well. Here's Nelson working down the lane. This time takes the shot and floats it in over Hibbert. Here's Turkoglu letting it fly and nailing a 3. So 5 early points for Hedo Turkoglu, average just him with the board. 3 minutes remaining here in the opening quarter. Nelson with a pull-up 3 is good. And the Magic back within 5.
And then Jameer Nelson in transition knocks down the three-point shot. It's all about winning as Jameer Nelson knocks down the baseline.
5 blocks, 6 rebounds, 4 points tonight. Turnover here by the Pacers. Orlando ball down 2. Pull up 3. Jason Richardson nails it. Magic back on top. 33-32.
It started the game.
Turkoglu challenges Hibbert. Turkoglu hit the deck, but an offensive rebound for Big Baby. And Jason Richardson with his second 3 in the last minute. Almost threw it away. 4 minutes to go, second quarter. Richardson, and Indiana left Big Baby wide open under the bucket for a dunk. Nelson able to get away from Hill. He's been doing that all half, and that's the third 3 for Jason Richardson. And first, Orlando with the penalty.
The dribble penetration, the perfect time of the cut by Jason Richardson, and Jameer Nelson puts the pass right on target.
The Pacers, very balanced scoring for Orlando as Nelson again gets past Hill and Davis puts it in. You surprised Jameer Nelson?
Jameer Nelson has 4 assists, no turnovers.
Able to get it in high off the glass. That's 9 points now. Opened up a 5-point lead, shooting 53% from the field here in the second quarter.
Injured today, it's going to be tough without him. But really, as Jameer Nelson knocks down a jump shot, my first thoughts.
And Jameer Nelson is with Holly.
Well, Jameer, there's a real sense of urgency and excitement in your huddles right now. Why is this so important to you guys?
The playoffs. You know, we all here together. We got to support one another, play together like we've been doing the last few weeks, and just continue to stay on that attack. I think one thing we've been doing is just playing the game well with one another and just staying on attack mode, not worry about who get the shots and who get the stats.
Early in that half, it looked like defensively you guys were struggling. They were scoring so easily, but what started to change for you?
Our intensity picked up tremendously, and one thing we have to do is just keep Hibbert off the board. It's tough because we're a lot smaller without, you know, Dwight, who's the best center in the league. But like I said, we just have to stick together out here.
You're doing it so far. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, game 1 winners win the series 80% of the time. And Orlando's up at the half by 7. Stay tuned. The Toyota halftime show coming up. Half right angle. Here's Richardson coming off the Davis screen. Hits the floater in the lane. That's 11 for Richardson, his first 2-point bucket. Magic by
the 8 seed. That's a tough step. Now a 3 seed. And the thing I really like, as Glenn Big Baby Davis knocks down a jump shot, he gets contributions from so many different players. And you look at a guy like Danny, the players have to believe in what you're selling. And Frank Vogel's got that going for him.
Back-to-back jump shots by Glenn Davis, and he turns and looks right at the Indiana bench as if to say, if you're going to leave.
By the way, do me a favor, play a perfect second half.
Might be what it'll take. Oh, what a shot by Nelson. The second time he's thrown it above the square. Indiana. Nelson in the lane. Fading away, drains it. Here's Nelson defended by Collison. Richardson hit 3 threes in the first half and drains one here.
Make that 2 of 8 for the half.
Out of the last timeout, Orlando got a 3-pointer from Richardson. Here's Jay Rich again, letting it fly. Hits it again! Orlando takes the lead. Magic by 1 with a minute to go.
Nice pass delivered by Jameer, and Jay Rich gives Orlando the lead.
5, including 2 down the stretch to give Orlando the lead by 3. He had 3 in the second quarter, and then a couple here late. And the Magic 24.5 seconds away from taking game 1.
And Dave, you see each time a little misdirection where he takes his man away and brings him back. Look how deadly he is from three-point range. But also, it's really nice to see the ball being delivered at the right.
And the Orlando Magic score the final 11 points of the game. They hold Indiana without a point the final 4 minutes and steal game 1 in Indianapolis.
Let's take a look at the highlights where Big Baby was almost the story of the night. He was the story for about half the night, actually. There's Danny Granger, and there he is, Glenn Davis.
So you're talking about the first half, he was all over the place, 6 offensive rebounds.
Glenn Davis, elbow jumper. They could not stop him in the first half, imposing his will. But then Danny Granger pulls up for the three-pointer. Paul George skies high for the putback. Great job.
Must box out.
Tied at 32. Jameer Nelson to Glenn Davis. The putback dunk. At the half, it was Orlando up by 2. Cue the intense baby.
I'm just going. I don't got no conscience right now. I'm playing within my team. My team is motivating me to keep going at them. We're going to get some calls in the second half. I can't look for no calls and just play defense and rebound the ball extremely hard as I can. And that's what I'm doing.
Thanks for stopping.
Thanks for having me.
Ryan.
One of the most intense compliments to stop by for an interview I think that I've ever seen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
David West out to Danny Granger, the three-pointer. This game was tied at 52. Then West rebounds, Granger. And I like the fact that they were aggressive.
Yes.
They weren't settling.
Attack mode. Get into that lane. We talk about with Dwight not being no shot blocking. Why are they not driving more?
Great rotation here as the double team comes down. George Hill knocking down the big 3 that you talked about, 3D. But this is really where I felt like Indiana finally could exhale. They got their crowd involved. You could see the confidence starting to grow. Barbosa doing what he does best, penetrating in the lane, finishing around the basket. Look at the type of response from the team. See them, everybody on their toes.
Look at them swarming up top. Paul George gets the steal. Quentin Richardson drives to the layup and one.
They're rolling now.
They are.
The crowd's involved. Going to David West, sharing the basketball.
And you both talked about David West and getting him involved with your Indians.
Well, just late possessions. You know, whether you have the lead or, you know, you're within 2 or 3 possessions of the game, that's the guy who you want to have making decisions for your basketball team.
Here's how it played out tonight in Orlando, Game 3 between the Pacers and Magic. Danny Granger just 14 of 42 from the field through 2 games, but Granger's got the heavenly light shining down on him, which means he has the touch.
Spotlighting. Little pick-to-picker. Very nice.
Oh. There it goes. It falls. Wait, he doesn't get the light anymore? Oh, yeah, there we go. There we go. George Hill this time.
Wing it.
Baseline floater for Hill. Indiana up to a very quick start. They had 9 of their first 10 shots, in fact. Meanwhile, Big Baby, Glenn Davis, scoreless in the first quarter, gets it going in the second quarter.
Look at Big Baby with the sin.
He had 16 in the second quarter, and look at the reaction here.
Oh, man. Yes, high knees. Treadmill.
He had 22 points. Hill really likes that shot. That floater from the free throw line. 15 points in the game. Here comes Baby. Your halftime moment.
What can you do to try to get back in the league?
Defense. That last possession right there was horrible. We can't let that happen. This is the playoffs. Everything counts. Everything counts. So, time to regroup. Back to the grind.
All right, my partners Greg and Ian want to know about that high stepping backpedaling you were doing. Is that pre-choreographed?
Emotion. That's emotion. Just kind of giving it the dance to go in. You got to give it a little dance to go in sometime and dance around the rim. You got to dance with it sometime.
Whenever the run ends for Orlando, Big Baby Davis is going to be spent.
Yes.
I mean spent. Paul George with the dunk here from David West. It's a 10-point lead, and the Pacers just kind of put it away from there. Roy Hibbert with a block on Jason Richardson, and on the other end, Hibbert, who had not shot the ball well in the first 2 games of this series, 8 of 10 as he's operating out of the post. 18 points, 10 boards, 3 blocks for the game. When you got Hibbert working inside and Danny Granger knocking down jump shots, the Pacers are a very good team.
They are, and I like also they're making a conscious effort to get down, push the basketball. I think it's also helping them because of their depth.
Coach?
Look, this game is a long way from being over, okay? But we kill them in the next 2 or 3 minutes, and it will be over.
Boy, they followed their marching orders. David West to Granger.
Yeah, they pass the ball so well. They just share the ball and they get open shots.
That put him up by 25. Darren Collison using the Tyler Hansbrough pick, and all the way to the rim he goes. Indiana by 23 at that point, and they win it by that margin to take a 2-1 series lead. It's their biggest margin of victory in a playoff game since May of 2005.
After losing Game 1 at home, the Indiana Pacers have raced back against the Orlando Magic, winning Games 2 and 3 by double digits. There's a pair of NBA legends, Patrick Ewing and Larry Bird, talking it over before the game, and there's a Masters champion, Bubba Watson. The NBA's most improved player this year is Ryan Anderson. He received the award before the game. In the first quarter, Jameer Nelson driving and hitting the gentle floater, using the glass as well, and Orlando up 16-10. Pacers moving the ball, though, and that's a good idea because when Danny Granger gets open, he does things like this. 2 of 8 from distance on the game. We're tied back at 16 apiece. Later in the first quarter, it's Darren Collison getting the steal and feeding Lou Odmanson. Stay with it. There's Lou Odmanson for the big jam, and the Pacers, well, they, again, looking good. They're up 20-16 second quarter. Tyler Hansbrough. He looks and finds Leandro Barbosa for the 3 off the screen. 3 and 1. Indiana up 26-22. Later, it's Darren Collison driving and lofting the pass near the rim, and there's Roy Hibbert. The big man is an all-star, and he shows you why. He had a double-double in this game. Hedo Turkoglu hits the face-up 3-pointer, and Indiana's lead is down to 2, 40-38. Later in the second quarter, Jason Richardson knocking down the jumper to tie the game. But the man at this point in the contest, David West. David West just working his way inside. Power move on Ryan Anderson down low, and that is effective. Later, it's West driving past Earl Clark for the lefty jam with authority. West in the paint, this time going up for the short, controlled little lefty push shot. Shot clock winding down one more time. It's David West off glass, and then David West hits the face-up jumper. The Pacers on an 11-1 run. West had 12 points in the third quarter alone. Indiana up a dozen, 73-61. Into the fourth quarter we go. The Magic still fighting. It's J.J. Redick and Tyler Hansbrough. That's a mismatch on paper, but J.J. is not afraid. Those two just pushing back and forth. Technical foul would be given to J.J. Redick on the play. Later, Glenn Big Baby Davis gets the jam, and he was no big baby in this game. Off of David West miss, Jameer Nelson finding Jason Richardson, just taking his time like a point guard should, and then he finds Jay Rich down low for the easy little layup there. It's 82-77, Magic on a 10-0 run. Then J.J. Redick drives and misses the reverse layup, but the Magic hustling, and Hedo Turkoglu gets the tip in. 84-81, Indiana in control. George Hill comes back at him with a three-pointer. That pushes the lead 2-6, 87-81. Then it's Roy Hibbert laying it off this time to Danny Granger, who goes inside for the layup. 89-81. The Pacers up by 8, but back come the Magic again. Jay Rich hits a 3. That cuts the lead down to 5, 89-84. The Magic showing a lot of heart in this one. Jason Richardson taking a three-pointer and missing. David West recovers but is called for stepping out of bounds. You see the time left in the game, 42.3 seconds left. It's a 3-point game. So who do the Magic turn to? Good idea. J.J. Redick nails the three-pointer there. That ties the game at 89 apiece. Watch it one more time. Redick didn't have a great shooting day, but he hit it when it mattered for the Orlando Magic. Later, it's George Hill taking a three-pointer here. As you can see, he recovers the loose ball. Shot clock winding down, missing that one. Danny Granger gets the rebound, but watch it one more time. He misses the rim altogether. Therefore, it's a shot clock violation on the Pacers. Magic with a chance to win it at home. Jameer Nelson, a good look but it's way short, so the game goes into overtime. Oh, what a chance this was for Jameer Nelson from the foul line, fading away a bit, but it wasn't really close. In OT, David West gets things started quickly with the nice hoop there. Indiana already up 2. They go up 4-1 on that play. Indiana keeping it going with Danny Granger knocking down a jump shot there, 95-89. The lead a half dozen at that point for the Pacers. Jameer Nelson trying to bring the Magic back. It was down to 3. A hoop and harm. That cuts into the lead all the way. In fact, ties it at 95. It's 97-95 when Big Baby comes calling and ties it again. 97 apiece. Another double-double for Glenn Davis. 40 seconds left. It's 97 apiece. George Hill, a little push shot, and it is effective. 99-97. Indiana in front, 36.3. Same score, 99-97. Inside, Glenn Davis again coming up huge for the Magic. Drills the in-tight layup. He had 24 points and 11 rebounds. Jameer Nelson, though, a critical foul on this play, a tight call. George Hill was fouled. He made both free throws. Glenn Davis for the tie, fading away, but he can't do it one last time. The Magic fall by 2 at home in OT to the Pacers, who go up 3-1 in the series. Final score, 101-99. It is Game 5 between Indiana and Orlando. The Pacers looking to win and advance. David West has been a huge part of the Pacers' success so far, and in the first quarter, he helped the Pacers again get off to a fast start. David West, part of a 9-0 Pacers run. They've led 12-7. More from Indiana. It's Roy Hibbert once again exploiting the very thin front line of the Magic. 22-11 in the first quarter. On to the second we go. On the other end of the floor, Ryan Anderson and the Magic have struggled from 3 throughout the series. Here, he drills the quarter triple. Roy Hibbert loses it. Glenn Davis recovers, but Paul George gets it back. Kicks it to Danny Granger, and he drills the triple. 45-34 Indiana. Back the other way. Glenn Davis working on Hibbert, gets inside. Falling down, the shot goes, plus an opportunity for one more. He makes the free throw to make it an 8-point game. Jason Richardson, as Orlando finishes the first half strong on a 10-2 run, they were within 3. On to the third quarter. Here's George Hill on the step back, give him space, and he buries it, 57-51. Back to the Magic we go. Jameer Nelson, he was clutch all game long. Nelson, 15 points in the third quarter, but the Magic just 11 of 30 from downtown during the game. Jameer Nelson, 71-69, Orlando in the lead. On to the fourth quarter we go. Danny Granger to Darren Collison. 78-73, Indiana back in front. They're up by 5. Paul George, the interception on the inbound. Granger, 2 of his 25 points, that led the way for Indiana. And Darren Collison was huge off the bench, dropping in 19. Indiana outscored Orlando 36-16 in the final quarter, and Indiana is moving on. 105-87, the Pacers win the best-of-7 series, 4-1. Indiana becomes the first team of the Eastern Conference to advance to the semifinals.